What's up, everybody? Welcome back to D
And they
Taking on the World.
We are back for another versus, okay? This is versus number 16, okay? Versus number 16. And, we coming with one that is a little bit controversial, okay? A little bit controversial. So, hopefully, you guys enjoy it. I definitely want to hear your opinions because this is a topic of this generation. Okay?
Yeah.
There has been this thing that's been going on for a while now, and it's called cancel culture. Okay? I don't know if you guys are aware of it or not, but if you haven't, I don't know where you've been at because it's been all around the world for a minute now. This versus is, are you pro cancel culture or are you against what cancel culture is? Go ahead.
So on this particular subject, I'm like in between, I feel. Like, there's certain things that I can understand the whole cancel culture thing. But then again, at the same time, I just think it's kind of ridiculous, in my personal opinion. I feel like things have been done for a very specific reason and stuff. I just feel like in a way some people are just too how do I want to say this, because I feel like people can be a little too sensitive. And I feel like people in general take things out of I feel like people take things out of proportion. Certain things could be said or done and they take it all the way to the left. And I just feel like it's clearly of a different generation because our generation didn't come up with this. I don't know. Like I said, I can understand certain things people want to cancel and whatnot, some very inappropriate things, especially when it comes to kid shows and that kind of thing. I get it and all that, but in general and all, I just feel like cancel culture is a bit ridiculous. And I am not for this cancel culture.
Okay, so tell me, what area do you feel like cancel culture benefited this world?
I would just have to say probably for the kids aspect.
What you mean?
I don't know if everybody knows, but I don't remember exacts, but there's a lot of kids shows that people want to cancel and get rid of and that kind of stuff because kids are very young, they're very vulnerable, and they don't understand everything to the best when they're young. And a lot of shows are a bit
what's the show? What you talking about, Pepe Le Pew?
There was that one. There was I can't even think of the names right now, but there was a few where it's just not great for kids. And that in that aspect I can understand it because our kids are special. We need to protect them. Obviously you can't blind them from everything. They have to go through things in life, but when they're young and they sit there and they get attached to certain things, not fully understanding what it is about and all that, it can kind of misconstrue things for them. And then when they get older, and whether they still try to do things in that certain manner and whatnot, it just messes things up. But I would say in the kids aspect, it's cool. You got to protect the kids. But I think just as in general, I just feel like that's the new gen stuff. I'm not a part of this new gen world.
You're a millennial.
The best
Oh, whatever.
generation.
Whatever.
The best
Okay.
generation. We can fight on this. 90s.
Every generation thinks they're the best.
Yeah,
like,
well,
that's
the
just
90s
objectively speaking. We all think we're
But
the
the
best.
90s, if you really think about it, 90s really were.
You think so, but then there's baby boomers that think the time that they were in was just so superior. We were tough. We didn't care about all this sensitive crap that people care about now. And then
we
Gen
don't
Z,
either, though.
they think that like, oh, sensitivity and things like this is necessary. You know, we need to be focusing on these things. The fact that these things that people were getting away with back in the day is crazy. And we won't stand for it now. So every generation feels like their generation is just better.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't objectively say anything about it because you're automatically going to root for your generation. That's just looking at it in the most objective way. I'm a millennial myself, but I mean, of course, I'm going to believe that my generation is the greatest because I'm a part of the generation. Who doesn't want to root for the generation?
Yeah.
But according to this cancel culture thing, pros, some people needed to get shut down. Okay, some people needed to be shut down completely.
Mm-hmm.
People like EDP. I don't know if any of y'all ever watched him before.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say his name. If you don't know who he is, check him out. EDP 445. I watched him a lot growing up. He was a part of my, my youth because I'm an Eagles fan. He loves the Eagles. He would rage about the Eagles. It was hilarious for the time that it was, but then we figured out some things about him being attracted to minors and trying to get on minors and things like that. And from that point, they canceled him. He kept trying to come back. He literally did it again and was unapologetic about it pretty much. So it's just like people like that. That's the positive of cancel culture that I personally love.
Mm-hmm.
I love that we stand up and we're telling people, no, this is not okay. Okay, it's not okay for you to do this and to still get the love and the fame that you've been accruing over this time. Negatives about cancel culture, I feel like you don't need cancel culture to cancel people. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean by this. Okay. I feel like we put people on a pedestal because of the fact that they're good at something.
Yeah.
And to me, I talk about this with my boss all the time. Like, he's one of those people who, like, fans over people sometimes. And, it is what it is. That's what you do. That's fine. That's your vibe. Me, I'm the type of person that I don't fan over people like that no more. Like, when I grew up, I had idols. I had people that I absolutely would literally say they could do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? One of them that I completely idolized growing up was Kobe Bryant. Like, he was my absolute idol. He was somebody that I always, like, everything I wanted to be like Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But as I grew up, I realized a lot, and I learned to not idolize people for their talents, not idolize people for the things, because, whether you believe in it or not, I believe in God. And for me personally, I believe all these gifts were given to us by God, or for some people, a higher power, or whatever it may be. These are gifts that were given to us. Why are we idolizing the creation instead of the creator? That's just how I stand. Now, so I feel like we put people on pedestals that they don't deserve. But in doing that, I feel like we also are unfairly cruel to people that are on these pedestals, right? These people should never been on a pedestal in the first place. Why are we putting people that I play basketball? I'm just not as good as Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I fight. I'm just not as good as John Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sing. I'm just not as good as Usher. You know what I'm saying? So like these are things that we could all do. They just were the ones that were chosen by Hollywood, by people who wanted to exploit their talent and make money off of them, right? That's really what we're doing. We're looking at people that were exploited for their talent and used for their talent, and they were paid in a certain way for their talents, but overall we put them on a pedestal, and then we expect them to be perfect, and when they're not perfect we crucify them and tell them, oh, you're canceled. No, I personally am against cancel culture. I personally feel like there's positives of it, but I feel like overall if we adjust the way that we see things, we will realize that cancel culture is irrelevant and it's not necessary. If we would stop looking at these people as idols and acting like they were meant to be perfect, like basketball players that mess up, they're human. They are us. They're just better at a gift that they worked on and they honed their skills in. They were better in that craft. But if you also notice, people that are specialists are often weak in other areas of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop doing this, man. We got to stop putting these people in places that they don't belong and then expecting them to be perfect to our standards because of the fact that they're on TV. They are on TV for one reason, because they can entertain us. They are good at their craft, right? If I was good enough to be in the UFC right now, I would be in the UFC right now. You know what I'm saying? And that would be awesome. But I would also be the type of person that would tell you, don't look at me as a role model. I'm just good at my craft. Okay? Like, it's simple. I'm just good at what I do. So I feel like the reason why I'm against cancel culture is because of what cancel culture represents. It represents putting people on pedestals for their talents, and we expect these people to be perfect, and they won't be perfect because they will always fail. They will always fail because we're human. Humans fail. No matter if they're great at a sport, if they're great at, preaching, if they're great at, like, even the thing right now that they're doing with Tony Evans. He stepped down because he, committed a sin of some sort and he didn't want to be in a public eye no more. He's a human being.
Yeah.
What do you think? Paul was not perfect. David was not perfect. There's so many people that weren't perfect. So, overall, I'm against cancel culture. I think that is ridiculous in the aspect of we should not be putting these people in these places in the first place. We would not, if we don't set ourselves up, these people up to be perfect, there's no reason for us to be let down. They're humans just like us. They're just better at certain things.
Yeah.
Guys, that is where we stand. D and A both are against cancel culture. Guys, I want to see what y'all got to say in the comments because I'm sure it's loaded. I'm sure it's loaded. And like the video if you like it. Guys, we're here to spark conversation. We're here to hear what you guys want to think, what you guys think about these subjects. We're not always perfect. We're not always right. But that's what we stand on, and we stand on our business. We want to hear y'all stand on your business in the chats. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next time, peace.